I see their knavery. This is to make an ass of me, to fright me if they could. But I will not stir from this place, do what they can. I will work up and down here. And I will sing that they shall hear that I am not afraid. I am not afraid. I know not by what power I'm made bold, but still you flout my insufficiency. The more my prayer, the lesser is my grace. My ear should catch your voice, my eye your eye. My tongue should catch your tongue's sweet melody. My tongue, your tongue, were the world mine. And I will sing that they shall hear that I am not afraid. I am not.
Hey YouTube, and welcome back to my channel. And today I'm going to show you what I plan on growing or try to grow. So I'm gonna try to grow some lavender, some sage, and some rosemary. Now I've tried to grow lavender and rosemary like 3 times now. So I did a little research and I'm gonna do it a little different, and I thought I would show you what I plan on doing with my herbs. So I'm gonna recycle one of those egg cartons. There's 6 little things in here. So I'm just gonna go ahead and poke some holes because these herbs have the same sort of water conditions, because you want them to drain, and like lavender and rosemary don't necessarily like a whole lot of water, so you want to make sure that your container is going to drain excess water. So I'm just going to put some holes in here. And what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to go ahead and get a knife and make some slits in here to make sure that it will drain. But I'm not going to make the holes too big so that the soil doesn't fall out. And then I'm going to set this off to the side. And because I have no seed starting mix, I usually make my own soil that I use for planting. So what you're going to need is some soil which you can get at the store. I have some gritty sand dirt, and then this is some ash shit. We got a mini, or my aunt and uncle have a mini donkey, and they have a compost pile, so I got some of that. And I'm also going to use some of this eggshell powder. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to mix the manure with the soil. This is like 5 parts soil and then 3 parts manure. And then I'm just going to go ahead and mix it. I really don't know much about gardening, so this is pretty... I don't know what the heck I'm doing, kind of, but I sort of know what I'm doing, kind of. If that helps you out any, this should be a more foolproof way of growing your herbs, I guess. To help lavender grow, because it is such a low, or it has a low germination rate, people put them in the fridge for a couple of weeks to kind of mimic winter going into spring, but I kind of don't like that. I try to grow everything based on, if I was a caveman and I didn't have a fridge, how am I going to grow these herbs? So I'm just gonna plant them, and then I'm probably gonna set some seeds off to try some different ways of germinating, but we'll see. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add 1 spoonful of this eggshell powder, which is supposed to be good for the soil, so maybe it'll help my plants out. Maybe I'll actually get some rosemary and lavender this time. This is my first time trying to grow sage. I think sage is probably going to be easier than the rosemary and lavender. But lavender just has a really low germination rate to begin with. And these seeds are kind of old, so I guess we'll find out in the future. Ooh, there's a worm in here. I'm gonna add a little more eggshell powder. And then I'm going to put this to the side. I'm going to bring back that egg carton. And I'm going to have my lavender in this row, my rosemary in this row, and my sage in this row. So what I've researched is that lavender actually likes to grow better in this gritty kind of sand. I've heard that it has better chances of growing in a desert setting. It doesn't like a whole lot of water. It actually does better in drought kind of conditions, and this is gonna help drain better. So I'm gonna put some of this grit sand in the bottom part of the egg carton in these 2 slots, and then pack it down. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one part of the grit sand and mix it with 2 parts of the soil and eggshell powder. I'm just gonna mix it up. Listen to that ASMR. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this in the middle part of the soil. And then pack that down. And then I'm just going to add a layer of the grit sand on top of that and pack that down. And so we should be looking sort of like this. And then you're going to take your seeds, or well, I'm taking my seeds, and if I can get the bag open, I'm going to divvy out some of these. I'm probably going to try to put at least 8 in each cell. So I poured out about that much seed, and I'm just going to sprinkle that between the 2 cells. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna push the seeds down into the dirt, but you don't want to cover them. So you shouldn't need this grit dirt anymore. And then for the sage and rosemary, they're pretty much going to be the same way you plant them. So I'm just going to fill these with soil. And then pack that down. And then you can take your seeds. I'm going to do sage first, since that's the packet I picked up. And these seeds are larger than the lavender seeds, so you can count out how many seeds you want to put in each cell. I've heard you just want to put around 3 in each cell, but I think I'll put 4 in each cell. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then there should be 4. And you can press those down into the soil. I'll put this one back. And then you'll do the same for the rosemary. Except the rosemary seeds are about as, or they're just a tiny bit bigger than the lavender seeds, but you want to do what you would do with the lavender seeds and just sprinkle them in there like you would if you're seasoning food. And then for these, I'm just gonna lightly cover them up so that they still get sunlight. You don't want to smash the soil down on these ones or on this layer of soil. And then, from what I've researched, you can put it in a container and you'll water it. You won't water it on top because you don't want your seeds to move, but you want to put water in the container until it reaches that level, and then let it soak for 20 minutes, and then drain any excess. You want to keep the soil from being too dry, but you also don't want it to be too wet, because then your plants won't grow. I'm probably gonna spritz the top of them with like a spray bottle of water. I also don't have grow lamps, so I'm going to put them in a windowsill that receives pretty much all the daylight from the day. I'm not sure how that's gonna affect these, but hopefully the seeds will grow. And while I'm at it, I'm going to show you the second way I plan on germinating my lavender seeds, because it would be really nice if I could have some lavender this year. So what you're going to need are a piece of paper towel, a plate, and a plastic bag. So you're just gonna get this paper towel whip. I'm gonna use cold water. But you don't want it to be super saturated wet, so I'm gonna wring it out. And I'm just gonna lay it on the plate. And then I'm just gonna sprinkle a couple of seeds onto the paper towel. There's a term for this kind of germination technique, but I can't remember it currently. So I'm just gonna sprinkle out a couple of seeds in hopes that they germinate. And I can't remember if you fold the paper towel in on itself, but I'm gonna fold the paper towel until it's just inside of the plate, but not over the seeds, and then just place it in the plastic bag. And then what I'm gonna do is pop it in the fridge, and it should start germinating in about 3 weeks. But yeah, that is the non-gardener's way to garden in some herbs for your witchcraft. But yeah, if you like this video, then hit the like button. If you have any suggestions for future videos, or if you want to leave a comment in general, then leave it in the comments. And if you haven't already, subscribe. Alright, bye guys.
Yeah, I think it might work, yeah.
Okay.
But I didn't prepare for this, so we just had 1/4 inch cables. So oh, baby. Okay, I'm gonna send that on me.